welcome back to The Watch. Let us know if you can hear us, if we're visible, if we're blurry, or anything else is wrong. We'll give it a second for chat to catch up and let us know if things going well. But how are you, Tyranth?
I am doing well. How are you, Nathan?
I'm doing great.
Shad is not here for today's stream.
Yes.
He's feeling a bit unwell today.
Yeah.
But I'm sure he'll be next week.
I think we should also preface... It's winter here.
Yeah.
Okay, guys? It's winter.
Yeah.
The seasons have changed. Illness is spreading. Okay, winter has come. And so, don't freak out too much.
This isn't the health update thing.
Yeah,
He's just feeling a bit unwell because it's cold and stuff like that. Yeah.
How's chat saying? What are they? We're good?
Yeah.
You can hear?
Sounding good. Yep.
Sounding good? Fantastic. Great. Well, a lot has happened since the last stream.
Yeah. Lots of news always happening.
Should we start with personal news first? That's what we usually do here.
Go for it. You can start us off then, since you suggested it.
Personal news, I've been working on my game.
Oh, you have?
I've been working on my game quite a lot recently.
You haven't told me this.
No, I haven't, because I don't usually tell people, because it's something that, much like writing a book, I would keep to myself until it was done. And then, because people who do know that I make a game every single week. How's the game come along? It's like, cool, I got like 2 things done this week.
Yeah, I just assume that you haven't done anything.
Yeah, no, I do stuff every single night, but it's, ebb and flows, much like YouTube, I think a lot of the times we work really hard on a video, nothing really happens, and then we spark up a bit, and then you work hard again. And that's how most things in digital spaces work, was that you like hit a brick wall, but then something eventually happens, and then you just go back and forth. So it's been fun. Making games is hard. But it's been something much like with Shad with writing, right? We always know Shad's been writing because it just you feel so good after you do that sort of stuff. And I reckon it's the same for you with some things as well.
Well, that's good. You're working on your game finally. Maybe we can get some other game stuff going as well. But I haven't been doing anything. I've just been working.
Working, even at home he works. Links in the description for that sort of stuff. But
but topics for today. We've got a bunch of them because a bunch of stuff has been happening, and we don't have enough time to get a video out. So we're like, hey, let's stream.
It's also Wednesday. This is when we usually stream anyways.
Yeah, well, it's supposed to be Thursday, but lots of movies for us.
Everything's been coming out Thursday. Yeah. John Wick came out last week. Tomorrow,
we've got another review coming.
Exciting news, everyone.
Yeah, we've got,
we're watching D&D, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. I was hopeful. I'm not hopeful anymore.
Do you still have the thing I gave you yesterday?
What'd you give me yesterday?
The DVD. Do you want to get it?
Wait here.
Okay. See, another fun news thing that happened over the weekend, I went thrift shopping, and I started in one small store, went to another, and I found these awesome VHS tapes of the Star Wars original trilogy.
He went on my recommendation. I told him to.
But the other thing I found is this. The original Dungeons and Dragons movie. When that come out, like 2000 something?
Yeah, I think it was like 2000. Now, a lot of Dungeons and Dragons fans don't like this one, but I like this one because I was a kid when I watched it.
I want to put it right here and leave it here for the review as well.
We are going to leave it there for the review. I don't think that's.
I don't think it's going to stay up, but you know what? You keep talking while I.
But yeah, he got that for me. He got me a present.
Yeah, we'll leave it here for. We don't want it. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, beautiful. Now tomorrow's review. Yeah. Do you think it's going to be better or worse than the original?
Oh, I think it's going to be. All right, so okay. A lot of when I said there was a video that, remember, me and Shad did the video on how they changed the rules.
Yeah.
And I said to me personally, that Dungeons and Dragons is goofy because that was my original reference.
Yeah.
People got angry and they're like, well, it's not, it's not supposed to be goofy. It's not. And it's like, okay, that's fine if it's not supposed to be. I'm just saying, to me it is. So from what we've seen of the trailers, it's very goofy, but not in like a good way. Like in a...
Yeah. I think this new one's going to be commercially more successful than this.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's a lot more, like, nerd culture is definitely more mainstream in terms of cinema goers.
Yeah.
But I think this has more character and people will cherish this more because, I'm looking at the special features here. They've got, the deleted scenes, special effects, deconstruction, all this sort of cool stuff where people there was passion put into this. And I'm sure there's passion put into this new one, but I feel like in the world's current climate, it's not going to be as good as,
I said to you this morning, I hope it's a House of the Dragon thing where the directors are coming out saying all this random stuff that just doesn't map onto reality and it actually turns out to be good.
Because there was one of the videos, it's actually been trending really well with one of ours with the new D&D movie, they're saying it's not woke. That the director's showrunners...
We're just going to add all these aspects in, but it's not. Trust
they're
us,
like,
guys.
but we love demasculating men. Like, it's not woke. But, like, those two things don't work in the same sentence.
Yeah. But that review will be out tomorrow.
Tomorrow night or tomorrow morning for you all.
Tomorrow morning for them.
Yeah.
Night for us. Yeah. But what else? Onto the topics?
I mean, that's kind of a topic in of itself.
It is a kind
of we should talk about. But in terms of actual topics for today's stream, what do you want to start with? I think we should start with Lotus Eaters.
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
Lotus Eaters has been demonetized. Now, Carl is, a great YouTuber, and I like Lotus Eaters in terms of their channel and what they've done, how he started. He basically left Sargon behind and became Lotus Eaters and Carl.
Yeah.
And did a great job. But recently he put out a video, I think it was yesterday or the day before, that his channel's been demonetized, which is really interesting because if you've ever watched any of that Lotus Eaters content, it's very different to what Sargon's content was. His was very, the boys' content, swearing, all this sort of stuff. But then his Lotus Eaters stuff is very professional. It's very professional, high quality stuff. And it's been demonetized. And I watched the quick little video that he put out, and it seems that the main reason is simply because of political leanings.
How many subscribers does he have?
I can't remember.
Compared to us. Like, I want to just check that while you keep going. Because,
so
I wonder if you reach a certain size on YouTube before they actually, recognize you. And then they're like, all right, you're gone.
Well, he explains in the video that the reason for the demonetization was because a channel associated
with him
with the Lotus Eaters account got flagged. But
yeah, because they got 330 something thousand subs.
And he explains in the video that the account that it's associated, he has no control over, nothing to do with that sort of thing. So his channel getting demonetized for some random account doesn't make any sense. And if you actually watch a lot of their content, they do stay within the rules. So, like the rules that we have to follow as well, that we try to stay within. And we do for the most part. Like, for example, swearing. We censor swearing. Technically, you don't have to censor swearing. Like, you're not going to get demonetized for it unless it's in the first, however many seconds.
Like 8 seconds or something.
But we censor it anyway, just in case, if they move the goalposts even further.
Because that's the crazy thing I think that scares me most of the YouTube is that, right now, these are the rules.
Yeah.
But in, 2 months' time, they could change it, and then okay, this is a arbitrary way of saying it, but they could make it so that all your footage needs to be professional. Like, they could do a weird guideline thing. YouTube could be like, all right, that's it. We're sick of all these, B grade videos. Has to be 4K or 1080. Everything's going to be... if there was a rule that every person on camera had to be in focus, Night's Watch would be we're done for, okay? There are so many videos with one person being out of focus just because of the lens of the camera.
Even our Shadiversity videos.
Even Shadiversity. There's things like that. And they guidelines won't be applied to every video from that day uploaded. Yeah. It's the whole back catalog. And so that's something that is kind of terrifying. Yeah. Also, the fact that it's not just one video got demonetized, but the whole channel across the board.
And I think it's a bit more than that because I'm pretty sure Lotus Eaters will be its own separate company, just like Shadiversity, its own company. And you're supposed to be more like a news site, alternative media, that sort of thing. So they leave a lot of their spicy stuff on their website. They don't because it breaks terms of service, so they don't even bother putting it up. They only put up the stuff that they know falls well within it. But yeah, that seems to be the situation so far. I haven't seen any updates yet. Hopefully we'll...
Yeah, chat if you know anything, let us know.
Yeah, hopefully they get remonetized because they should be. And I like their channel. I think they do great work, so... I hope that this situation can be resolved and this isn't a death blow to the channel because they've spent a while building it now and they're doing well as well. So.
Yeah, they're doing a good job. I don't think they actually deserve this. Obviously this is unfair treatment to them.
There is times where channels get demonetized and you look at their content and in terms of what they're actually putting up, it's maybe it can be political, but also at the same time, it's you're swearing all the time, you're doing all this, you're going right to the edge. So I don't agree with it, obviously, but you can go, oh, all right, kind of. But when it's something like Lotus Eaters where they stay well within the rules that have been laid by YouTube, you look at it, you go, well, hold on, what's going on here?
This isn't a Lotus Eaters problem, it's a YouTube problem for not being clear with their guidelines and all of a sudden just picking and choosing whatever they want.
That happens with us as well. There are times where we sit there and go, "Is this okay?"
Yeah.
And it's like
And you read the guidelines, and
Yeah.
they're so vague. You can't actually draw a line with what is okay and what's not.
there'll be times where we're sitting there editing a video and we'll look at each other and we'll go, is this okay? It's like, well, I think it's okay. Maybe we should just take it out just in case, because we don't know. And
It's not even bad stuff. Like, I feel like a lot of videos...
It's nowhere near bad stuff.
Yeah.
It's just like, I think that they're
Like,
going
we're
to try
having
and
a
get us to
discussion about this thing, and we're like, there's AdSense stuff. We have to check boxes to say, we're being controversial here because we're criticizing someone's opinion.
Yeah. And it can like fall into like, is this hateful or derogatory?
Yeah.
And it's like, do you criticize someone?
Yeah.
That's the box you have to tick. And it's like, I
We
mean,
do criticize people here, but then it's like, are they going to be like, well, you're being a bit of a big meanie?
yeah.
Then let's watch.
Remember we celebrated that one time where we talked about something random and we didn't have to tick any boxes. And we're like, well, this is
it was
crazy.
great. We somehow managed to like curve around the guidelines.
Yeah.
But then, and they always try to clarify YouTube. It never works.
Yeah.
Makes
That's
things much worse.
But that is basically, I'm pretty sure that's everything so far. I haven't seen any updates yet.
No.
But we'll probably cover it when we get updates, because hopefully they resolve it and hopefully it gets fixed, especially if it's
Hopefully. And
if the reasoning is a channel that's not even really associated.
the
with them.
annoying thing with stuff like this, and it happened with Shad too, when one of his videos got demonetized, the period in which your channel isn't monetized, YouTube still makes revenue off that.
Oh yeah,
And they don't give any of that cut to you when it's demonetized.
Yeah.
Even if it's like, Lotus Eaters may have had however long they've been demonetized now, good standing in terms of the actual guidelines. YouTube takes the ad revenue for people watching videos, but then when they're like, okay, you're good now, can I get that money that you made from me?
yeah.
No, you can't.
It's the same when they change the rules to apply a monetization to every single YouTube video.
Yeah, like if you
Even
get
if you're
partnered-
if you're not partnered, they still make money off your
Yeah.
videos. You have to be partnered to make money. It's like, oh, I see what you're doing here.
You shady. Well, be careful. They might get me. Don't come for me, please, YouTube. I'm a small guy.
Which one did you want to?
I think next goes into LTT.
Oh, okay.
With YouTube sense of things.
So LTT,
Lioness Tech Tips, for those who don't know.
yeah, very big YouTube
Big
channel.
mainstream tech YouTuber.
Yeah, very mainstream sponsors, mainstream, big money, all that sort of
The
stuff.
thing we aspire to, I
Yeah,
think.
the thing that we want Shadiversity to
We're just
become.
like we are inching our way towards that.
Yeah, they got hacked,
Yes.
and I've watched the video where
Yeah.
they explain exactly what happened, and it's terrifying.
It is, isn't it?
Because do you want to sum up the story, or do you want me to sum it up?
I mean, I feel like you have a good summary, and then I'll just
Okay.
put in my points and thoughts.
So LTT got hacked, and their entire channel all the videos got taken down, and Tesla,
Rebranded to Tesla.
crypto scams, basically.
Constant live stream of just deepfake Elon Musk being like, go to this crypto link and whatever, we'll give you free.
Just basically scam stuff.
Yeah.
And they kept trying to reset their passwords. They were able to get back into their account. They were trying to take things down, but all of a sudden every time they would do it, it would just pop back up.
Yeah.
And it took them a long time to figure out. And what they figured out the problem was it was actually the token session. So what a token session is it's basically, when you say like, don't ask for my password again.
Yeah.
And then your specific device, whether it's your phone or your
laptop, or
anything
computer,
like that.
whatever.
They have token sessions where you don't have to put in the password or the username, things like that. You can actually just if we log in this laptop here, we're going to get straight into like the Night's Watch because we have a token session that's already on there. That's actually what these hackers acquired.
They didn't get the F2A, they didn't get the password, they just got the token session, which you can get from your browser.
Yeah.
What happened was one of their marketing people got an email saying sponsorship, and they're like, great, love sponsorships. They clicked on PDF, it opened and closed, and they're like, that's weird bug.
So for you guys who don't understand why this is so terrifying, is because this is a very just run-of-the-mill thing.
Yeah. You just get an email, you open an email, PDF doesn't open, maybe it's corrupted, maybe they didn't zip it right or whatever else.
Yeah.
So it just looks like a failed thing. When in actual fact, that was malware, and now that malware is on the computer, and it can take, and once you're signed in, right, it can get all your browser history, and including, like you said before, the tokens.
Yep. Exactly. And you would think they're like, oh, that sounds a bit crazy. But it's like, I guarantee you, every YouTuber everywhere does the exact same thing. They'll open up their business email.
The thing is, right, usually emails, Gmail, connected to YouTube account, you're already signed in. It's just as simple as, like, it's terrifying. It's really scary.
Because you get sponsorship offers and things like that, and you'll open up the email just like any, and then you'll have things like a term sheet or what they're offering, and you'll click on that to open it up. So it's the reason why he didn't punish whoever, I can't remember whoever the employee was, is because literally anybody can make this.
He said that there was no red flags in terms of the email was spelled all correctly. It looked legit. It came from a good source. Like, everything was like, this is okay. It wasn't until he clicked on it and then it closed immediately that he's like, oh, that's weird. But, you know, it's such a, when you're on a computer, right? And sometimes our computers are a bit funny anyways because we're doing a million things at once. It's like, oh, okay, I'll go off and do another thing instead. Yeah. Like, it's not.
And this happened to such a huge channel is and why this was so.
It happened to the main channel and then I think one or two other side channels. And they, so when they get a hack of this channel, right, they select all the videos, delete them all. Then they get the name, change the name, profile, whatever. Gone.
Now, it leads into the bit where it's a bit terrifying that YouTube keeps everything, or Google, whatever.
Yeah, because you're sub to Linus, Like, when I saw it happen, I was like, oh, him too. Because other thing as well, this also happened to Corridor Digital and Corridor Crew. The exact same thing happened. Their marketing team opened an email. He's like, opened it, didn't work. Okay, left for the day. Next morning, everything's gone. It's all hacked. Boom.
Because when you have different things what you can do with videos. You can just unlist them or keep them private, or the literal button is delete forever. It says delete forever. That's the exact wording they use. But when YouTube restores an account, they restore everything, even those things you deleted forever.
And so when they restored the Linus Tech Tips channel, it restored every single sponsorship. Like, what you do, right, when you get a sponsor, you might do a segment of the sponsored video.
Just sorry. For an example, like when we do a sponsorship, just that little sponsor cutaway, we will upload so that sponsors can
look at it and be like, all good, not good. And a lot of Linus's ones were like, not good. It's like, that's not approved. I remember there was like a Dyson one that was all controversial because...
I didn't say that one.
Oh, well, there was a million videos that came on, but like there was a Dyson ad thing that they were a bit spicy on, and the Dyson was like, no, don't do that.
Right.
And so when YouTube's like, okay, we restored your channel now, we've also like... And here's the thing, nothing's unlisted. Everything is public. Every single video, every sponsorship thing, even old videos he had with like his like son like playing, he's like, ooh, like everything went public. Which, whoa! I don't know. I think for those who are watching, it's kind of like, oh, that's a bit sad. But for like us who do this for work, man, that is scary.
That is stressful.
Because like, you would think by now, because I've looked into this more and more. There's like 10 or 20 channels a day that are actively getting hacked like this.
Oh, really?
Like, right now, there are 10 at least.
Makes sense,
Like, and YouTube's just trying to take them down. Now, Linus was taken care of because he's like one of the biggest YouTubers on YouTube. Smaller channels, nothing happens. Or like, you know, YouTube takes ages to get around to it. And so there are people's lively, like, good thing with Linus, right? They have they've got merch, they've got a whole website and like video platform. And so if anything, for him, this was a win because I think he got like 2,000 new subscribers on his main thing, or 4,000. Like, that's a lot of like win, 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 win.
I want to explain to people because there's some people who don't understand why it's so, like, for us, for example, this would be like no joke a problem, is because we've had videos that get flagged and get demonetized and that break terms of service. So if all of those went just live again, the entire channel. I have no doubt that YouTube would be like, we've restored your channel, also, you're demonetized.
Oh, okay, a lot of those videos, I will admit, have been music stuff or sound stuff when we want to be creative. There are maybe a few who were like, okay, I forgot about that video, we deleted it. Like, there's videos we did back in the early days with Night's Watch where it was just very... I don't know, like rough cuts that needed another cut.
For someone like LTT, it's probably not that big deal. I doubt they're going to have any like demonetizable videos. I really doubt.
You might have some private videos that you would have.
Which you still don't want because when you have like thousands of videos, like that's a lot of manpower.
Linus said there was one video. It was a full tour of his old house.
right.
Where he's just like, this is my entrance, this is my doorway, this is my key code. Like, it's a whole, like, he doesn't live there anymore, but that person that does live there, change your locks. Like,
yeah. But for other channels more in like our sphere, there's demonetized videos, things with music, copyright stuff, things that breaks terms of service, swearing, things like that, where if they all went live, I have no doubt in my mind, YouTube would go, your channel's back. Now we're going to demonetize you.
It's back and it's gone. So I think it's very scary. And here's the thing, right? We know now how they did it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised people are going to be more careful. But I also think the hackers who have done this are going to think of smarter ways to do it now as well. Because it's more publicly known.
But I just think about, like, I don't really think anything's going to change, because the reason why session tokens exist is because just imagine having to log into literally every single thing you do, every single time you use it. Like, there's a reason why these things exist.
Like, I think for me, what I want to do going forward is having a separate, like, business laptop that just has the email, but it doesn't even access it through, like, browser. So you sign in through, like, an email service, like app or whatever, and it just has access to email. They can't take any of the token stuff. But again, like I said, like, that's for tokens. They could think of other scarier ways to hack us. So everyone, please be careful out there, because things are getting scarier.
If a tech tips channel can get hacked, we're all going down the river, you know?
Yeah.
I think that's all for pretty much that topic.
Yeah, I could talk about that forever, because that's really interesting. But
yeah.
That's just something to be aware of. And when you see someone else who is being hacked like this, maybe there's a small YouTuber that this happens later down the track, just like let them know, link them to maybe Linus's video. He did a whole thing of, like, you know, it's tokens, it's not F2A. Like, of course, try to basically, if something like this happens, try to sign back in, and then if you have anyone else associated with those accounts, kick everyone out.
In a lot of cases, they can be like getting passwords, can do these things. But in this particular case, the reason why it was so scary is because it was such a crafty method.
Yeah.
And a method that literally everybody on planet Earth uses.
I think another thing too, right, is to have a emergency plan. Okay, when fires happen, I know people have emergency plans for things like that in home.
Yeah.
Have, like, emergency plans, like, if your bank account gets compromised, what are you going to do? Like, I remember my wife lost her wallet a few weeks back, and she was like, what do I do? And I immediately knew. I was just...
She lost her wallet? Not you?
It got stolen.
Oh, okay.
It got stolen.
Just for anybody who's wondering, Nathan just keeps his wallet in, like,
random. One time we went to get the door, and then it was in the jacket pocket. It was hot. It was different. Like, it fell off the car seat. Like, it was still in the car.
Yesterday we went to the Shadlands to do some filming because we were testing some stuff for a video, an upcoming video, and he just had his giant thick wallet in your hoodie. Yeah. And I say, hey, can I use this hoodie to cover these things from the sun? And your wallet's in there. And it nearly falls onto the grass. I'm like, why are you keeping it?
Because before I leave any location, I do the usual keys, wallet, phone, and I'm usually pretty good. But so when she lost her wallet, she was like, "Oh, what do I do with my bank accounts?" Because also, like, you got to pay for groceries.
Yeah.
How do you pay for groceries with no cards?
Or you can cancel all the cards and then use your phone.
Yeah. So we figured that out, but it's like in situations like that, stress is usually much higher.
Yeah.
And so you should have plans. For example, when your bank account gets compromised or when your YouTube gets compromised, like have those plans and procedures for when stuff like this happens, you're prepared.
And they did. It's just they couldn't figure out the method. That was the giant. They were there. They were trying to reset things. They have their plan, but they're like, well, what's going on? How are they doing this?
Again,
I don't understand how you're doing this. And that
for
was
those
the big problem.
who are watching, I think you should just be prepared for anything. And you love being prepared. So I think, we should have a procedure for when stuff goes down.
Yeah.
Both, in our personal lives and business too. Because, if you work for a business, you should probably let them know you're a business, you're likely a target.
Yeah. Especially when the size of things like we've got. But that's that. LTT got hacked in a very terrifying way that
I think woke us all up.
Yeah.
We were all like, oh, everything's so good. This can happen to anyone.
Yeah. Which topic did you want to move on to next?
I think we should move on to John Wick 5.
John Wick 5. Not to be confused with John Wick 4.
The one that just came out.
Which was good. We liked.
Really good. Recommendations from basically everyone in our sphere. Like,
I was surprised. I thought other people wouldn't like it. Like when we watched it, we were like, "Hey, this is great." But I was ready for everybody else to be like, "Oh, I didn't like this." I liked it. But hey, a lot of people liked it, which is good.
It's good. And then basically everyone, or in terms of like Lionsgate, the guys who published the movie and everyone else, they're always like, "So can we get a sequel to that movie? That would give us really good money. Can you make a sequel to that?" And we won't spoil it in the stream, but stuff happens that kind of makes it pretty, permanent, that they don't want it to come back.
I mean, we live in a Marvel and DC world where
It doesn't matter. We'll just do time travel. Hey,
It's not even that. It's just like walk from behind the tree and like, haha, it was a trick all along. Like
I'm actually not retired.
Yeah. I don't know how to feel about this because I want more things of the things I like.
Yes.
And I was genuinely not expecting, like, I knew it would end that way. I just didn't know that 4 was the last one. I thought there were still more coming. So I got caught off guard in terms of when it happened. But basically, John Wick 4's come out and it's doing really well because people like John Wick. And this one is the last John Wick movie.
That's what they thought. So I actually, in this article I read, they did 2 screen testing. They did, oh man, I can't do this without spoiling. Basically, they did two endings.
John Wick 4 is the last John Wick.
Yeah.
For reasons.
They did 2 endings, okay? One that was more open and was like, there could be a sequel.
Yep.
And one was very like, this is done. This is finished. People who didn't like the open-endedness of the other one, like people were actually mad at it. They liked the closure.
Which one was this? I don't know which one was this. I'm sorry, I'm too conditioned by Marvel and DC. Like
the fact that it could have led to a sequel.
Right.
People didn't like that ending.
This one still could.
No, but like there was one that was even more strongly like, oh, you think it's over, but it's not. Okay. Viewers did not like that.
Right.
And so if you want to keep talking, I want to find this quote here.
But I wouldn't be against it, to be honest, because I liked it. And I like the John Wick movies. Now, obviously, everything's got to end at some point, but I felt like there probably was a little bit more story we could have, because one of our criticisms of the movie was that there wasn't much story in it. I feel like they could have done one more at least with more story in it, rather than,
Yeah, so this quote here that said, this is the reason why I think we should actually praise these guys and give them as much benefit of the doubt that we can. Because look, with Wheel of Time, Rings of Power, Marvel, DC, D&D, they always say one thing, do another thing. They always say, trust us, fans, while we screw over the thing you love.
Yeah.
Where here, they say that Keanu and Chad, rightly so, are very protective about never screwing with the audience.
Right. Which is a good thing.
For me, that just gives me so much peace of like, okay, you have so much care, and like you are not making this for yourself and your own agenda. You're making this for people who watch it and you actually listen to them.
Yeah. And it's good. Yeah. I'm not going to begrudge them for that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if they made another one, I wouldn't complain either. Yeah. I'd be like, I'll watch it.
In the article they say, so basically they were done with it.
Yeah.
The creators like, you know what, we have, it needs to end. And Lionsgate's like, oh, but that money's real good, like I wouldn't want another couple of mil, that'd be really nice.
People are liking it.
Yeah, people are liking it. They want more of that. And basically they said, we'll think about it. We'll scratch the surface. I think the creators have basically said that, like, we're done with this.
Yeah.
Because you want us to make more, people like it, we will try something.
Yeah.
If it works, we'll do it.
Like, if they did a prequel.
Yeah.
Showing John Wick in his prime. Hey, I would be down for that.
Yeah.
So, if
but
that's
they
a way
also
to do
said,
it,
if it doesn't work, we're not going to do it.
Right, okay.
Which, again, I know this article was very, like, balanced.
Yeah.
But I think it's a great change from all the other crazy stuff we get where it's like, Rings of Power Season 2 will be more accurate to the books, even though we're not following any books and we just ruined the whole thing in the first season. And rocks do sink and look down. Thank you.
Yes.
Where these guys are feel like more balanced. They're like, you know what?
Now I want a John Wick prequel.
Yeah.
Just like I want a Game of Thrones prequel, Aegon's Conquest. Yeah. I want lots of prequels at the moment.
So, like, more good news.
I want Star Wars The Old Republic, a prequel. I want prequels.
But I don't want Disney to touch that.
Yeah. That's a different discussion altogether. Yeah.
You know how, like, there's a thing with Sony owns part of Spider-Man.
Yeah, and then they can't. Yeah.
I want to own part of the Old Republic so that Disney can't do stuff, but I can do stuff. That'd be great.
Right.
Where do I sign up for that? Like, Can I get some like EU licensing, please?
Yeah. But John Wick 5. Are people interested? A lot of people are, and I think a lot of people would watch it because people like John Wick. I don't know if you've heard about this. Have you heard about this, guys?
Have you heard about John?
Yeah.
Have you heard about John Wick?
People like it. And especially since I was expecting some sort of messaging or some sort of...
I was ready for it to be ruined, basically.
And it doesn't have any of it. If anything, it's pro-gun propaganda more than anything else. But yeah, John Wick 5. Or a prequel. I'd prefer a prequel, to be honest. Because they always talk about what he had to do to get out.
Yeah.
Let's see it.
Actually, that would be very cool to see what he had to do to get out. Like, that would be... And again, like, that's the thing, like, I feel like with John Wicks, they always try to... I mean, I know some of them haven't actually reached the bar in terms of quality, but, like...
The third one he's talking about.
Like, 4 was so good. For 5, you can't just have him do the same thing.
Yeah.
You have to... I think a prequel is actually the most sensible thing to do. Like, what he had to do to get out...
Yeah.
Just deep fake him so Keanu looks younger.
But that was just a quick story that we picked up because we watched it very recently and we both liked it. So we thought we'd cover that real quick. What else did you want to jump on?
So we haven't been reviewing Mando. I think we might do like a full video season review once it's over. You can like binge it all. Because me and Shad, I think we're watching week by week. Have you been watching it? Or you're waiting?
I was waiting to watch. I'm still waiting.
Okay, I was going to say, but...
I'm still waiting to watch Mando all at once. I want to binge it. But I saw a clip. I saw a clip. Of Grogu fighting a Mando kid. And it looked... we don't have a censor here, so I can't swear. But it looked so... It made me angry. It made me furious.
Yeah.
Like, if this was a dedicated video, there'd be beep after beep right now.
Yeah.
Is this made by the same people who made the first 2 seasons?
Yeah. Nothing's changed.
Well, it feels like a whole bunch has changed because, what was it, episode 3? That was just...
A side story. You know the crazy thing too, right? So I follow Star Wars socials to stay informed of new stuff, but I also like to see how they filter things.
Right.
Because I always look at Star Wars socials. Like I watched some of their shorts on YouTube, and there's parts of that episode 3 with it, and every single comment is like, "Wow, amazing, so good," and then one comment's like, "This is just proof Disney hasn't done anything with Star Wars since they bought it." It's like 10 dislikes. Like they have such a ratio of things.
Yeah.
I feel like we can't criticize Star Wars. You just be happy with what you got, man.
No.
You got to be happy with it.
We
haven't had a good Star Wars in so long. Just be happy with season 3.
Like on my last legs with Star Wars. Like Mando was the only thing that was keeping up. Like maybe Ahsoka will be good, but at the same time, there's so much Ahsoka.
Right? I am sure if Ahsoka season 1 is good, by season 3 we're gonna be like, why are we still here? Why are we still doing this?
You may be right, but for the moment with Mando, from what I've seen and the clips and the synopsis of each episode, I am very unhappy.
Yeah. See, I remember I waited a week or 2 actually to catch up with my season watching just because the last 2 were like boring, drudge, and I was just like, I don't want to. I'm making a game, guys. I don't want to waste my time watching this stuff. I feel like my time isn't valuable enough to watch Star Wars.
So,
do you know how often I watched Star Wars, the original trilogy, on repeat in my childhood? I watched it. I remember I watched the Star Wars trilogy nearly 3 times in one day. Just on repeat. Just watch the first 3 over and over again. They can't even give me 10 minutes of good Star Wars now.
So why does this matter? Well, you see, if this was Clone Wars and we had 23 episodes at 20 minutes a pop, no one would bat an eye. There's countless arcs in all the Clone Wars series that I'm not that big of a fan of. But
even then, at least they're arcs.
Yeah, and I don't complain about it. But when you come to the Mando, where you have like, 8 episodes?
Yeah.
At 20 minutes a pop, and you waste an hour-long episode.
Sorry. Let me just say, most of 20 minutes a pop, and then the one filler episode is like 58 minutes of him walking around Coruscant, eating glowing icy pearls, being like, Empire was better.
Of the things that people don't care about.
Like, And it can't be CGI stuff because most of those shots are just like all in the volume or green screen. Like you're still using VFX for that. I'm sorry, it's. I want to look up the runtime for these things because it baffles me.
I'm still holding out hope that I am gonna like season 3. Hopefully, there's more good than bad on balance. But that Grogu clip that I saw of him jumping over the I was speechless. I was like, what am I watching?
What didn't you like about it?
Huh?
What didn't you like about it?
Well, first off, the CGI was terrible, and the scene, because I don't have the context of it, I was like, what is happening here? And
well, okay. Can I give you the context of that scene then, just so you know?
Yes, give me the context.
So they are doing duels
Yep.
with the kids.
Yep.
And obviously, most kids are kids, and so they can actually, like, fight each other.
Yep, makes
They're
sense.
wrestling.
Yep.
And then Din Djarin's like, all right, Grogu, your turn. And Grogu's like, looks up, it's like, what? I'm like, and everyone, it's actually really funny. Everyone's just like, bro, he's like one of the kids are like, can he talk? And it's like, no. He goes, well, then he's not like big enough to fight. And then he pulls in some like Creed cult thing where it's like, yeah, but talking isn't.
Yeah.
It's like, why isn't he wearing a helmet? Because he can't say the Creed or just dumb stuff. But then they fight, and it's like, how are they gonna fight? And they're like, oh, with the blasters, the little like whistling
no,
things.
I saw the little Nerf darts.
Yeah. And so they use paint, and it's so funny because the first 2 shots, the kid's just like, bam, bam, and Grogu's like, oh, why are you doing this? And it's like, Dad, why are you doing it? Like he feels like very abusive, and then he's like, I know we can do Grogu. Like you train with Master Luke, and then like he just flips and gets him 3 times, and then everyone's like, whoa, Grogu can flip. And the only reason why Grogu won is because the kid wasn't ready for him to do that.
Yeah, I know.
Like, I feel like now, the kid could just grab him and be like, no, Grogu, we're taking you down. Like, fists? He's not going to win with fists.
It just looked so bad.
Yeah.
It was literally like Doctor Who levels of CGI.
Just like, whoop. It felt like puppetry.
Yeah.
So, in terms of episode run times.
Yeah.
Episode 1 was 38 minutes. Episode 2 was 45.
Yeah, but
also
those are the full run times without
cut
intros,
down
outros.
oh my gosh, and the intros are so long. They're so long.
So it's like 25 minutes a pop, man.
And then episode 3 was 59 minutes long. That was just on Coruscant walking around. And then episode 4 was 33 minutes long, which has been the shortest one so far. And it was just them saving a kid from a nest, and Grogu being like, oh, my berries. And there's a flashback scene, right? The reason why I watched the most recent one, I think it was the most recent one, was because on Twitter I got spoiled a flashback scene. I watched it and was like,
yeah, I saw the flashback.
That wasn't. It was the same with Kenobi. Like I remember, like I was out and Kenobi released, and people were like showing the cool like flashback scenes.
They
of Anakin
love
and
giving
Obi-Wan.
all of the flashbacks.
And I was like, I gotta go home and watch this because this looks really good. And I watch it and I'm like, this was not worth rushing home for.
Yeah.
And same with the Grogu thing. Like it's literally just them running around.
Yeah. They know what we want with the flashbacks.
Yeah.
And they'll give you like the edges of it. They'll give you the crusts of it. They won't actually give you what you want.
Yeah, the nice soft bread in between.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so not excited.
And here's the thing, right? I know what's going to happen this is where they abuse fans.
Yeah.
With season 2, they did this. They give you like 3 filler.
Yeah.
1 thing that promised you something.
Yep.
And then another 3 filler. And then like 2 somewhat good finales.
Yep.
And so right now in the filler, I'm hoping.
But there shouldn't be any filler to begin with. There's only 8 episodes.
I'm telling you how it is, though. This is how they do it. I'm hoping tonight's episode promises something for the future because so far we've got nothing.
What are we at? Like episode 5
Yeah.
now?
And then they're going to have like Moff Gideon or whoever else is going to show up for some random reason. Everyone's going to be like, whoa! And then it's going to be the end of the season. Everyone's going to be like, that was an amazing season. Those last 2 episodes were brilliant. Like, I will admit, Mando, the last 2 episodes
That's what they do, though.
were good. But like, up until then, he was just delivering eggs.
Well, they...
Literally! And that's even ignoring all the dumb canonical stuff. Doesn't make any sense.
They did it with Kenobi.
Yeah.
The entire season was trash. And then it gets to the last episode, and it was still trash. But people were like, whoa, this is not the other trash. This is awesome. This is all fixed.
Qui-Gon being like,
it's like,
hello, Obi-Wan. And
no,
everyone
it was
going,
still all bad.
hello there. And that's the thing. They're abusing their audiences.
Yeah.
Actual abuse.
And I'm reaching my breaking point. Like,
Yeah.
I'm done with
Look,
this stuff, man.
I'm gonna get my fix.
Just give me what I want, or
with
else
Jedi
I'm not watching.
Survivor. That's gonna give you my fix, hopefully.
Yeah,
But in terms of story,
when does that come out?
It's next month.
I swear we keep checking every time it
it's like April 6th or something.
April? Aren't we in April? Oh, we're in March.
We're in March still.
Okay.
Hopefully it's good. But even then, like, when was the last game that came out for that? Like 4 or 5 years ago?
Oh, no, it wasn't that long. It was like 2,
Really?
3, maybe.
It's felt very long.
It wasn't that long. Like, it feels that long because we haven't had no good Star Wars in between. But
even then, I think that game is lacking to what the other Star Wars games I've grown up with playing.
It was in 2019. So it has been a couple of years at this point. You're right.
It's been so long.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, Bob Iger said that they're going to just tone down on everything. But you've already been toning down on Star Wars. Star Wars didn't even get its foot out the door in terms of, like, going places. They did, like, the sequels. They did Han Solo. And then they're like, oh, people aren't going to the cinema anymore.
Well, what annoys me is they know what we want. They obviously know what we want. And then they'll give you all this stuff you don't want. And then right at the end, that little sliver, they'll go, here, you like this, don't you?
They'll be like, hey, don't you like the old New Republic thing we've done? Don't you like peacetime Star Wars? No, I want Star Wars! Star Wars! You're taking the wars out of the very thing I loved! What the... Oh, Disney, you make me so mad! Star Wars!
You see, we're at a point where just...
I'm breaking! I'm thinking about all the stuff! Like, okay, when I was young, I wanted to be a film director. I wanted to bloody go to George Lucas and say, mate, let me make... I wish I still had it. I wanted to make 50 more Star Wars movies.
Well, how about you start directing Shadiversity videos from now on?
Well, maybe I will.
Why am I doing all this?
Because I want to edit it.
It's your turn.
Anyways, I wanted to make 50 Star Wars movies. I wrote a letter. I had a plan. It was going to be like this whole Clone Wars stuff too. It was going to be awesome. I get so mad because when Disney bought it, I was like, well, then they can franchise this like Marvel and I'll be a sucker for it. You can't even do that. Far out, Disney. Sell the IP. For goodness sake, give it to anyone else.
Nobody's got the money for it.
Anyone. Well, they're losing money anyways. I
Yeah.
think they would like some net positive for once. Sell Star Wars to someone. Please.
It's too much logic there for
Like,
it.
it's going to not go to public domain in my lifetime, will it?
No. We're stuck with... Why do you think I say, like, I want Old Republic?
Yeah.
I know they're going to ruin it, but at least we'll get it. Because it's better than just having... Because they're gonna have it forever. We're going to die with Disney Star Wars. That's a fact.
Can we go... Everyone, just go to your... Oh, that's another topic we didn't even talk about.
We'll start a GoFundMe. We'll like, raise $4 billion to buy it and make it public.
But look, I'm thinking more about the laws. Change the laws so within our lifetime, we can actually do things with the IPs that we love.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll never
Like, it's so dumb that Disney's just done that with Congress and whatever. Like, it makes me furious. Yeah. Furious. Because here's the thing, right? They don't do anything with the IP.
Yeah.
But then as soon as fans do something with it, even though they're doing nothing with it, then they shut it down.
Yeah.
So what are you doing? It's just you're burning money for the sake of nothing. You're not entertaining anyone, and you're just ruining... You. What is the point?
Well, we can make Star Wars stuff. We just can't make money off it.
But even then, it's like... I know with one of the video games they were doing, they were making like a Battlefront game. That was free to play, everything, it was awesome. And they just like, nah, you gotta kill it.
I think it's only with like video content. I don't think it's with like games.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I would love to make a Star Wars game that was actually like amazing.
Yeah.
Not just like okay or good. Like, I want like the best game.
Well, you never know. Maybe we'll get that with Survivor. No. I am really hoping
we're not going to get the best game with Survivor.
I know, but I'm just going to hold out hope for a little bit longer. Yeah.
But then you will break.
Yeah.
And then you'll be black-pilled, and then everyone can see.
Yep.
I was right. The Star Wars is dead, and please.
Well, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
All right. Did you want to jump on to the last subject?
Yeah.
I don't know anything about this.
I've know very little just because I've been involved with every other story. So Jonathan Majors,
Kang.
who played Kang, few things have happened. There were a few comments coming out saying that he's awful to work with, that he's narcissistic, that yada, yada, yada. But also very recently, he's been arrested on charges of abuse.
Okay. What's the context?
And now he was in an ad for like the army or whatever. They cancelled that ad.
Right.
Basically, no news has come out of him being back for Marvel Kang or involved in whatever extra creed they're doing. Like he's been arrested, and then everything's been like.
I expect that because it's only been like a day or two, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't know what happened to you. Yeah. I have no idea.
So he's been charged with assault and harassment.
Yeah. Domestic dispute.
Yes.
I did know that he is very. He has a big ego.
Yeah.
After I heard him say that he wants to be remembered like the same as Denzel Washington and I can't remember who else. He named another actor. It's like legacy actors who have done like crazy stuff, and he's just done. The first time I ever heard of him is like Kang.
Yeah.
And I think he's in one of the Creed movies, the new Creed movies, and he's already saying, "I want to be remembered as one of the greats." It's like, okay, a fair achievement to look for, but you are nowhere near that yet. And he's been arrested for domestic dispute.
Now, there's a few things coming out with this. So people are up in the air with saying, well, Marvel put this whole thing on the whole Kang dynasty, like he was going to be the next Thanos. There was teasers in Quantumania about it all.
That's true, though. But, that's true.
Now it's like, oh, okay, are they going to keep doing this? Is this ruined? Is this the thing that like puts Marvel in their grave?
Sorry, just keep talking. Let me.
But as well, people are getting really frustrated at the fact that he's been cancelled basically very quickly as well. People like fire him, get him arrested, do whatever else. Like he no longer deserves this role. But as well, with the Flash, the fact that he is still out
and
he's been proven guilty, and he still has a job as the Flash. Where this, I feel like it's too early to know for certain.
Yeah.
Or comparing the two, this is very fresh. This is very new.
Yeah.
Where like the Flash and what's his face, it's just like it's so sure of itself, and yet they still go along with it. Where this is like, happens in a second, and all of a sudden he's done.
So, from everything I'm seeing here, it's kind of a he said, she said. There's not really a.
It's very messy. It's not like there's video footage or live stream.
Well, it says here the victim of the altercation with the woman he knows. The woman had recanted the accusation and that video evidence and witness supported his account. However, that was made by his representative. Yeah. So, is that true? Is that not true? Basically, they're both going to say,
"Yeah, I'm the one that."
Yeah, I'm innocent. Yeah. Both are innocent. Yeah. So. I have no idea, but it'll be interesting to see what they do, because Marvel is not Disney, and Marvel is dumb,
Marvel's
but Disney
not
is like a special kind of dumb. They are a special kind of dumb at DC.
DC or
DC.
Okay, not Disney.
Well, both, all of them.
All of them.
But like DC is like real special with it. Then we come to like Marvel, where they're idiots, but they know what they do. Like with She-Hulk, they know what they were doing. They're like, we're trying to do this. We're trying. We're not going to give it a season 2 because this is terrible. Yeah. But like, we know what we're doing. They're dumb, but they're not that dumb. So especially if they're going to rest the entire future of the MCU when they've had a bad Phase 4, I doubt they're going to be like, let's
go through a bad start to Phase 5 as well.
Yeah, and the problem is that I think what comes up next is Loki, which
has him in it. I remember one of the articles was like, is he going to be in season 2? It's like, well, yeah.
They teased it at the back, the end of
he is, because they've already filmed it.
Yeah. And we can argue about whether Loki's good or not. I personally like Loki, but if you don't, hey, that's fine. But out of all of the shows, Loki was the one that, on average, a lot of people liked in the fandom. I know you guys are going to be like, it's terrible. It's like, it's fine. It's fine if it's terrible. I'm just saying, out of all of the shows, I saw that one the most well-received from fans of Marvel. Let's be clear about that. But he's in that, and I think that's coming up soon. So what they're going to do with their whole Kang the Conqueror...
Are they just going to recast him? Are they going to do like a Hulk thing?
I don't know how you can, man. Like, it's different when you recast one actor, but you're literally creating thousands of one actor to play entire...
Maybe they will do a simple thing of he's there being all Kang or whatever, And then another Kang that looks different is like, actually, no, I'm the Kang. And then
Yeah.
he, like, then takes control of everything. Like, who knows? Maybe they'll retcon it all and just, like, change the actor. And they're like, because I've seen this, they've done it. I don't know if Pixar's done it, but they basically go back and patch a movie.
Yeah.
And so they could just change the actor.
I don't know if they can do that with Kang. Like, he hasn't had much screen time.
Yeah.
Relatively
That's what I'm
speaking.
saying. Like, you could probably patch
But he's
him in.
still had a lot of screen time.
Yeah. If you recast him to some... But as well, who would they replace him with?
Exactly.
Would it be easier to recast him? Or would it be easier just to, like, put aside the Kang? But you can't, because you got so many
You're
things.
revolving all of your next phase around it.
Yeah. Like you have the Secret Wars and all this, like, big stuff that's been built up.
Yeah.
What I would do is recast him. Just because people will know. Recasts are fine. Because I recasted the daughter in Ant-Man.
Yeah, but that was such a small part. Like,
Well,
we're
I'm saying
talking about one of the main
Recasts
characters.
happen. If something like this happens and they just recast him, I think people will be like, okay. But even then, like, it's so... Okay, cases are so tricky, especially this one where it's very, like, he said, she said, both sides or whatever.
Well, it's he said, she said, for now. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sure this is going to go to something.
Yeah,
He's
like
gonna. This will be a court of law type thing.
It's too early to know.
Yeah. But maybe it'll be all alright, and it's all just, you know, a false allegation. I don't know if it is, and I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying maybe it'll be that in court with evidence, video evidence, security, whatever, and everything will just go back to the way it was.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's true, and then they're gonna have to, like, full on do some Ninja Marvel stuff, recast, try and do that, because I don't think they can just push aside the whole arc now that they've got it rolling, because
No, it's too late now.
it's
You
going to be the
do-
crux of the next phase. So, yeah.
It's like someone saying to recast him as Adam Sandler. Just seeing Adam Sandler as a villain in Marvel. I want him to be like funny Adam Sandler. I don't want him to be like.
I want it to
serious.
be Nicolas Cage. I love Nick Cage.
There are so many good actors we want in the.
Yeah. But I think that is all of our topics. Is that all the topics?
Yeah, had a few super chats, so we'll go through them. Send them in now while we are currently going there, if you guys could. And as well, up here, if you want to support us on Teespring, on Patreon, on Subscribestar, and you can watch us on Utreon and all the other places. People always say to me, Tyranth, why aren't you guys on this platform?
We are. We're on.
And
all
the
of them.
answer is we are. You just haven't searched for us. So if you search for us, we'll be.
We've also got the Shadow of the Conqueror graphic novel campaign on Kickstarter. So if you missed out on the first round, you can head
Go to
over there
Kickstarter,
and grab one.
type in Shadow
No
of the
signed
Conqueror.
copies, none of that, but you can get the base
The
graphic.
leather bound and all the good stuff.
Oh, are they doing another run on the leather bound? I thought it was just...
I think we're just not doing signings.
I didn't think we were
from
doing
my
any more leather. I
understanding.
thought we were just doing the graphic novel stuff. I guess you're going to have to check it out.
Hey, there's a bajillion other... Like, if you're watching this, you've probably seen Shad's other announcements. Like, it's fine. It's fine. Okay, let's head to our supers.
No, if I sing Indiana Jones, we'll get demonetized.
That's another thing. Indiana Jones news has been bleak.
Yeah.
Very bleak. Okay. So, the first one's from Dawnbreaker for $5 American. Have you guys looked into the new bill that Congress just voted on regarding TikTok and VPNs? It's the level of China in terms of government power. Yeah, so that's one thing I actually haven't talked about is the whole Congress and TikTok CEO. Have you seen any of that?
I don't care because I don't use TikTok. I just haven't looked into it.
Yeah. It's very... It's funny watching old people try to ask tech questions.
Right.
So an old man's like, now tell me, Mr. CEO, when I'm on TikTok, does it connect to my home Wi-Fi?
Yeah.
And like, look, he's making a valid point. If TikTok has access to your home Wi-Fi, it can do other devices. But like, the way that he puts it, when it's like, you mean it has to see my face to use the filter? Can it read my retinas? How do they know the age? Or things like, how do you know the age of a user? And the CEO is so... and I'm on TikTok, so I've seen everyone's opinion of it, and everyone is on his side. The Congress could have easily swayed with the other American people if they were actually competent in asking questions, letting him answer stuff, and they're like, do they track your face, yes or no? And it's like, well, actually, yes or no? Yes or no? Like, just stuff like that where it's like, okay, clearly you're not making a good image for yourself.
Yeah.
And so, look, I think tech companies should still be held accountable, and
Yep.
a CEO's word shouldn't be held as the evidence. You should actually be able to look at the evidence. He's doing some good, in terms of what the CEO is doing. He's like, okay, we have a third party in America that's storing all the information. We're doing all this other stuff.
So what I understand about the context of that is that just because the information is stored in America doesn't mean someone from China can come and access it.
Yeah.
So it's just that it's stored in America.
Yeah. But here's the thing, right? Congress is making lots of they were like, oh, so China this, like, we are Americans, and like, this is the CEO's rebuttal of like, well, it's in American soil. You love America. Like, there's just, and it's funny when he says these things, Congress is very much like, they got the rebuttal. They can't be as competent as you in saying, just because it's American soil doesn't mean like Chinese can't access it. Stuff like that, where, he won over the internet. He won over TikTok, obviously, because they all use TikTok and they're like, woo! And you see a competent person who seems relaxed and controlled, and a group of people just attacking him, basically, not letting him speak.
Yeah.
And as well, the fact that they're using this bill and they're using TikTok as the example because they can vilify it, but, stuff with Facebook and Twitter and all the other social media stuff.
But the thing is, TikTok in China is very different to the Western world's TikTok. In China, it's very academic, very... you're going to get more curated content, more wholesome content, if you will. You're going to get more, maths and science and achievements. And then when you get onto like Western TikTok, it's degeneracy. There's a reason why China regulates their own TikTok the way they do. There's a reason why when a Chinese company is very dicey to have a social media platform that the Western world like uses with millions of people. It's because it doesn't matter if they're a private company. There's no such thing in China. The state still has a level of control over
the CEO's like, we're a Singaporean company. I am from Singapore.
That doesn't work like that.
But again, the Congress people were always just like, I don't believe that you're a Singaporean. Like the rebuttals. Come on, guys. But yeah, they're basically trying to just pass the power so that they can control the internet.
But I don't know. I haven't been following any of it because I don't use TikTok. You have, I'm guessing, because you're on TikTok.
Yeah. That's all TikTok. Like, it's funny how trends happen on TikTok. Because, when you're on YouTube, there'll be one or two trending things and whatever. When a trend starts on TikTok, every second video is that trend.
That sounds terrible. Glad I don't have to experience it. Josh Kelsey for 20 US. No super chat, so thanks for that, man. We appreciate it.
If you meant to say something, I'm sorry. YouTube does
nothing came through. Do you want to read this?
Yeah. Clifton 3D for €6 said, so Shad plays Conan with very lovely women while you two frail away here.
We can neither confirm nor deny this. But today he's actually under the weather.
I mean, if he's like, he could be playing Conan. We don't know.
We don't want to go in there and get sick.
We're here to work. Okay, we are working the fields.
Yeah, we've got a lot of work we've got to do, actually. Cameron Durant Cameron. Sorry, bud. For $1.99 US, I thought The Matrix was John Wick's prequel story. I would agree with you, but they made a new one, and apparently that one was terrible.
Yeah.
I didn't watch it because I didn't want it to be ruined.
It was so meta. It was so I don't use that word lightly. It was so meta.
Right.
Yeah.
You want to?
And then he did another $2. You do realize Star Wars is made for space wizards. Yeah. But there's no wizards in Star Wars anymore, anyways.
Yeah,
wizards are all gone.
Yep, there's no force, there's no lightsabers.
They don't even
it's all just people, no aliens.
One thing I saw on TikTok that was really cool was people were making AI generated art for if Star Wars was an 80s anime.
Yeah, I love those so much.
It looks so good.
They're so good.
Don't give me live action Luke Skywalker, Leia, whatever. Give me that. Give me an awesomely animated anime about what should have been the Star Wars sequels.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. That's what I want.
Cyborg 100 for £5 for British pounds. Okay, you guys are bickering, I'm going to guess, about Star Wars. Don't forget, we had to watch Star Wars Christmas Holiday Special and Caravan of Courage. They're on par with Disney.
I like how we're both like, you go first.
The Star Wars Special is terrible, but it's terrible in a really sort of like George Lucas way.
Well, okay, here's the funny thing, right? Because George had nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
He just gave it to like CNN or whoever.
Yeah, but it took because back then we had less Star Wars stuff.
It was one movie.
Yeah, it was a full like thing.
Yeah.
And it had real Mark
Hamill.
Mark Hamill. Sorry. I mixed their names together. It had real Mark Hamill in it looking like,
Cake face.
Yeah.
TV cake face.
We had Wookiees just
in VR doing things that you're like, Grandpa, what are you watching? Oh, Grandpa, no. Turn the sound off. Wear headphones.
It's one of those things where I look back at it and I go, yeah, like this is something special.
See, and here's the thing, right? We got that, but then you had George's actual trilogy, which was brilliant.
Yeah.
With Disney, all we get is like Star Wars Christmas specials. It's like if if every single movie was just a Christmas special.
And we even had things like Spaceballs, which is a parody of Star Wars.
Yeah.
And even that's great.
That was fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not on par with this. Like Disney's is real. It's real Star Wars, and it's bad, real bad. Which is and then we got Durant Cameron again for $1.99 US. How do I send a super chat?
You just did.
Good job. But
You did it.
Yeah.
You did it.
I think that's all for today. We'll check the chat real quick.
Hope you're all having a good evening. This is a bit more spontaneous than usual.
Yep.
But, that's okay.
Yeah. Anything else here? I don't think. I think that's everything.
Yeah,
for today.
Spaceballs was awesome.
Yeah, it was. Lone Star, All Star. That's what I think of when I think of All Star.
Really? You think of Lone Star?
I do. It's the first thing that pops in my head.
Hey, now you're a rock star?
No. When you say, oh, we're gonna do All Star, I think Lone Star. That's just my Schwartz is almost as long as. But yeah, I think that's everything.
And no, we don't play Warhammer.
Careful when you say those things. But yeah, that's been today's stream. We hope you enjoyed. Lots of news topics today. A lot more than usual.
Well, look, I will admit, but also it's because we haven't been uploading that much.
That is true.
I was looking at the news, and there's been a lot less than recent, but stuff's coming out. So we're going to go tomorrow. Okay, get ready for tomorrow morning for you lot. We are watching Dungeons and Dragons. Hope to see you all there. Indiana Jones is going to come out soon. The Flash. We have got reviews coming out, and we're going to do some deep dives. Yeah. So thank you all for watching. As always, do the thing. And
stay on watch. You want to press it?
Yeah. Thank you all.